In today's class, we will discuss about rotameter, or we can call it as variable area meter. This rotameter is finding discharge in a given instrument of a fluid. Fluid means it can measure for liquids also and gases also. Okay, it will measure the discharge, that is rate of volume, how much volume is coming per unit time. So the units are meter cube by second. So on which working principle it is working is, here I took one diagram for example. Okay, this is the example I took. In a container I am taking water or any liquid. Okay, whenever we are keeping some object over a liquid, it may be sink down or it may be float. It has two chances. Okay, it may be sink and it may be float. Okay, here what are the forces are acting whenever we are keeping object on the liquid or fluid? So because of weight of these objects, it has gravitational force. Gravitational force is acting downward. Okay, and this liquid force will be also there, okay, on the object. It is called upthrust force. If you are taking the diagram object roughly, here what are the forces? Gravitational force means it is downward gravitational force. Okay, and then upthrust force means liquid force on the object. So it is acting upward. It is called upthrust force. I am taking gravitational force Fg, upthrust force is Fup. Okay, let us assume like that. Okay, now take two cases. I am taking object A and object B. Okay, let us take object A. In it is coming down, means it is a heavy weight object. Heavy weight object means the gravitational force are more compared to the upthrust forces, correct? This force is more, that's why it came down. Okay, so in that case body will sink. This object is sinking. It is coming down to the bottom of the tank. Let us take this B object. In this B, it is a lightweight, means gravitational forces are less. These forces are less means upward forces are more, upthrust forces. Okay, gravitational forces are less than upthrust force. Body will float. Okay, so there are two cases we are taking here. So this is the main basic thing we are using in float, okay, for operating this rotameter. Okay, take the description of this. In it we are using one transparent glass tube. Okay, so it has a varying cross section. At inlet it is a less diameter and the diameter is increasing throughout the length, and the upward or the output diameter is bigger one. Okay, it is a transparent material. In it one heavy object we are taking, it is called float. Okay, this float has more weight or more density compared to the fluid in it. Okay, so we have to take the heavy object or heavy density object compared to the liquid, flowing liquid or flowing fluid in the meter. Okay, there are only two parts in the rotameter. So on it one scale will be fixing here for seeing the reading. Okay, these are the main parts in the description. And what is the working operation of this? How it is working? Let us take, there is no input here. I am not giving any input here. Okay, this float is heavy as I told now. This is the heavy object. Now it came down. This diameter of the inlet of the meter is same as the float diameter. Okay, this triangular part will come down like this. It will stay here. Okay, now after that I am giving some flow. So for that flow, because of upthrust forces, fluid forces, this will take into some distance to this float. Okay, after that I am increasing the flow. Okay, I am increasing the discharge. Whatever we want to find Q value, I am increasing the discharge. I am opening the tap fully. So because of upthrust forces will be more. So compared to this point, this figure here, the forces are more. So it will go up. Now I am reducing the flow. Again it will come down like this. If there is no flow, it is coming down. Like that, the float is moving. Okay. Now for finding the reading, how much Q value correctly, what we are doing means I am giving some flow here. So because of this float is moving like this. Okay. So here float is not moving up, either up or down after some time. So it is at one position only. We can call this float is in equilibrium condition. So what is the meaning of equilibrium condition? Equilibrium condition means whatever forces acting here, the same forces are acting here also on this float. At the time only it is in equilibrium position. Okay. So the meaning is whatever gravitational forces are there, it is equal to upthrust forces. Okay. So here I am taking at equilibrium, Fg is equal to gravitational forces is equal to upthrust forces. Okay. Here we are taking resultant is equal to the difference between these two. Okay. The difference between these two means these two are same. Okay. But resultant is equal to, it is 0. Okay. At resultant 0, it is in equilibrium condition. So whenever it is in equilibrium condition, here one scale will be there on the rotmeter, linear scale, or sometimes we are taking the circular scale also. In the calibrated form we can take the reading. So here scale will be there. Okay. So wherever this float area or surface is touching the reading, that is the reading of the Q value. Okay, discharge. This height will be giving, float height will be giving the Q value. So it is a method of finding the Q by using the rotometer. So what are the applications of this rotometer means? It is giving the discharge of the fluid. Fluid may be either liquid or gas. Sometimes we can measure of the corrosive fluid Q value also. If we are using corrosive fluid, here we have to use a different float. Okay, so it should not corrode with the fluid. So different materials we are using for making the float for the different liquids. And other application is, it is particularly useful for low flow also. It will do the correct reading at the low discharge or low flow rates. And advantages are, here we can see the flow conditions of the fluid because it is a transparent one and the flow conditions are visible. Flow rate is linear, okay, in the linear function. So it is easy to calculate the, find the value, and can be used to measure flow rates of liquids, gases, vapors, as I told previously. And by changing the float, tapered this angle, okay, or both, the capacity of the rotometer can be changed. Okay, so if you want to measure some more liquid of okay, more volume of water, so we can change this length as well as and the size of this according to this rotometer. Okay, so these are adjustable for the different flows, different sizes we can select. And the limitation should be always they have to install vertically, because we are taking the gravitational forces here, so it is main limitation. And we can't use this rotometer for the moving fluids or moving objects we can't use. Okay, and they have to use in the machines which are at the same place, not in moving objects. The float will not be visible. This float is not visible whenever we are using the color fluids, different colors of fluids or liquids, okay, or gases. For high pressure and temperature, if let us assume there is a high temperature of the liquid, okay, or high pressure of the fluid. So here we have to use different types of float. If temperature will be there, if we are using the plastic one, it will melt, okay, this float. So that's why we are using the different material, metallic alloys floats, okay, for measuring the correct value. So the limitation is the cost of this float is more sometimes if you are using the high. Cost limitation is here we have to use only for liquids and gases. Sometimes in during lathe machining and during machining, drilling like that, we are using the coolant with the abrasive particles for effective machining. That type of liquid, solid suspension liquids we can't use here, and we can't use the rotometer for this type of liquids for finding the Q value. These are the main limitations of this rotometer. Now different sizes and different materials we are using for making the float.